Okay. Okay, 1 minute. Good evening. Good evening to all. Myself, Dr. Naren Kumar, working as assistant professor in College of Veterinary and Animal Sciences in Department of Livestock Production Management. Today, this 21-day National Veterinary Winter School, Vet Excel 2.1. We have a topic that is sustainable livestock farming innovation for farm resilience and profitability. So I will start this with introduction. So if we see, before going to the sustainable livestock farming, I will quote some the significance of livestock in Indian economy. As we know that the more than 21 million people are engaged in the livestock for their livelihoods, and it is one of the dominant pillar for the agriculture, where it contributes more than 30, that is 31% of agriculture GDP, and livestock contributes 5.5% of national GDP. And now come to the sustainable livestock farming. What is the sustainable livestock farming? This sustainable livestock farming means utilizing the current that is the resources without compromising its ability for the future generation to meet. This sustainable livestock farming basically work on the 3 pillars, that is that practices that is environmentally sound, economically viable, and social responsible. These environmentally sound practices means whatever we rear the animal, like cattle rearing, like goat, like poultry farming. So its impact on the environment should be less. And minimizing their resource consumption, managing their waste. And what is the economic viability? Economic viability means anything which is profitable and which has the long-term adoption through the cost-effective manner, which is based on the market competitiveness and market's demand. And third is the social equity. Social equity means we have the fair practices for the animal as well as community engagement. Here we follow the whatever the norms for the animal welfare and its standard to the animal as well as community engagement. So this is the principle of the sustainable livestock farming. But in the sustainable livestock farming, in the present scenario, there are some challenges. What are these challenges? These are the challenges in the sustainable livestock farming, that is environmental challenges. First environmental challenges, that is the greenhouse gas emission, water pollution, that is from the manure, deforestation. Second important challenge is the climate changes, like rising environmental temperature, erratic weather conditions, shortage of feed and fodder, and pasture degradation and its productivity hamper. These are the second major important challenges. And third challenges is the animal welfare. Due to the, as we know that the global demand for the food has been rising in the current scenario, this will put pressure on the farmers, entrepreneurs, as well as organization to produce more animal products, which will they rear the animal on the intensive system, where their confinement, where they overcrowd the animal, and where their freedoms, ethics should be hampered. So we should work on there is no that your physical, mental, and the behavioral restrictions that should not be compromised. So we should be care about that. And fourth important challenge is the antibiotic resistance. That due to overdose and misuse of the antibiotics in the animals treatment, this will result into the pathogen resistance of the bacteria and emergence of new pathogen. Resource efficiency. What is the resource? There are the certain resources like feed, land, water, waste, farm waste. These are the different resources, and we should use these resources in optimum manner, in optimized manner, in sustainable way, so to produce the output without compromising for the ability for the future. And as we know that due to change in the consumer preference and their awareness about the market demand, that there is another challenge for to meet the demand according to the market driven and consumer demand. So these are the basically challenges for the sustainable livestock production in the current scenario. So how we tackle these challenges? So one by one we should focus on them. That is grazing management. This grazing management is the actually it basically adjusting their grazing time, stocking rate, and intensity of the grazing. Stocking rate means what is the number of animals that should be grazed on a particular acre or area or hectare of area. That should be optimized manner. And intensity of the graze means how much grazing should be done to that area. And grazing time, like in summer there is a early morning or late afternoon grazing, or in winter late morning grazing should be preferred. So one important grazing practices that is the rotational grazing, in which the this paddock, this is the paddock is divided into the equal number of parts. So animal can move from one pasture to another, that is one to another, then to another, then third, then fourth. So in this manner, these in this manner we can prevent the overgrazing of the pasture, and it will improve the soil erosion, soil health. It will second important practice is the agroforestry. Agroforestry is the introduction of some fodder plant, fodder with tree. Like one of the important agroforestry practices, the silvipasture, is the deliberate introduction of some woody plants into the fodder area of the animal, like this. So it will provide, it will give it will create a microclimate to the animal, which the tree provide the shade, and fodder provide the feed to the animal. This will increase the milk production. It will see that it will increase the milk production. It will reduce the production cost, as well as it will increase the number of cows per hectare area in the recent studies. So this will all help in important practices to prevent this. And third important is the precision livestock farming. What is the precision livestock farming? This it is a digital management system. It is a digital management practices where there is a advanced technology. We use the sensor, robots, some artificial intelligence to measure the animal health and its behavior on the real-time basis. These technologies can only detect that some important diseases like mastitis, and we can optimize their feeding practices. We can automatize the breeding practices. We can use in genomics and selective breeding, and we can reduce the antibiotic usage also. So these are the different technologies or different methods used in the personal livestock farming. That is the RFID, that is the radio frequency identification method. So it is basically radio frequency. It is identification of animal. It is electronic identification method of the animal. Like tattooing, what different types of used in the animal. We use the electronic identification, that is radio frequency identification method, where the some radio sensors are signals are used for the some code in code manner, where it can be used by the computer system and analyzed by the computer system. Now the second important is the robotic milking. Robotic milking. Third is the infrared thermography, the automatic feed dispensing system, 3D imaging system, herd management software, milk analyzer, geoinformatics, GIS system. These are used as a precision livestock farming to accelerate the animal production and animal tracking behavior, and ultimately improve the early disease diagnosis and optimize the breeding as well as feeding practices. These are the sensors. Different sensors are used, like here on the ear tag. These are the neck collar. On the 7th and 2nd, there are the pedometers. Then these are the pedometers are used in the leg region. 7th one is the detector. These are used for the stress detection in the cow. This 4th one is the pressure platform, stress detection of cow. 6th one is that is the ruminant bolus that are used for the identification of the animal. And as we know that the this is the automatic milking system, concept of the automatic milking system. As we know that the milking is one of the labor intensive process in which more than 30%, more than 33% of the annual labor demand that are used in the milking only. These automatic milking system, these are used as a alternative for the very high milking yield cow, and for the identification of the any diseases and some productions, we can use it. Robotic milking. These robotic milking consist of some robotic arms. These are the 4 arms where teat cups. These teat cups attached directly to the animal, and along with which identify the animal. It dispense the concentrate level to the feed to the animal. It also pre-dipping, post-dipping of the teat should be before the milking, and it also determine the quantitative as well as qualitative assessment of the milk. And if the milk is not up to the standard, it will reject the milk. So it is a very important practices that are used in the commercial form. And third important specialization of farming is the infrared thermal camera. As we know that it work on the principle that thermal camera, that any object which is that is more than 0 degree Kelvin, that is the absolute zero temperature, that it will emit electromagnetic radiations, and these radiations produces a color band. The lighter the color, higher the temperature of the object, and darker the color is the lower the surface of the temperature of the surface. So this is the use as a non-invasive method to record the animal temperature, as also used to detect the animal stress, heat stress of the animal. So it is one of the important practices. And some deep learning technique like CNN, that is convolutional network techniques, is a type of deep learning system that is used to animal behavior and its emotions recognition. This how one coworker that has worked on this horse, and it will use this CNN to study the emotions of the horse based on this parameter: ear, eye, and mouth and nostrils. Here we see that the position of ear are seen, the distance between these are seen during the to see the animal's emotions. Animal's pain is actually what level of pain is animal in this condition, the size of orbital area in the eye, muscular tension, and visibility of the underlying bone surface. These are seen during the emotions of the to study the emotions. And the nostril dilations on the mouth and the size of mouth column, that is the upper and lower lip. These are seen, these are used for the study as for the animal behavior or emotions recognition. And one thing, automatic vaccinations. This is the automatic vaccination system where we used in the as we know that it is very tedious to give number of animals to vaccinate at the same time. So to reduce this labor, we can use these automatic vaccination. Yeah, however, it will give loading dose of these vaccines, and it will give to the all animal. And this disinfection system, that is based on this AI robotic system, where we can use where different sensors, cameras are used to clean or to disinfectant animal houses to prevent disease and to improve the overall hygienic standard of the animal. This can be used. So what is the drawback of this pest and livestock farming? As we know that there is a high investment cost hota hai. There is high technical staff are required for this. There is a very slow adoption rate of this pest and livestock farming, like to the farmers, and this is basically can be not used for the small farms. And there are some errors during the data collection, data transfer, or storage, data interpretation, some analysis. There's some data management complexities are there. These are the some few challenges, but these are the some important practices we can use on the farm. So one important feeding management practices. In the feeding management practices, as we know that the star available to the they are feed to the animal. Farmers are feed to the animal straw. We can use this straw treatment with the urea. That is a 4% of urea used for the straw treatment, and it will improve their digestibility. It will increase their intake, and it will also improve the CP content, means protein content of the straw should be improved. So actually these urea break the cellulose, hemicellulose bond of this straw, and break these bonds, and it will improve their digestibility. So this is the important practices. We can use this in a very sustainable manner. So we should, as we know that the many foods that are fed to the animal, these are competitive to the animal. These what we use to the used is the to the animal, that is same feed to the animal, human also. So we should focus on the some alternative food also. So which is not competitive to the human food chain, like one of the important practices is the insect-based protein, like single-cell protein, algal and seaweeds, byproduct food waste are used as an alternative feed resource, which is not competitive to human. Like different insects like black soldier fly, house fly, beetles, locust, cockroach. These are very high source of protein, more than 35 to 50% protein, and having essential amino acid minerals and have high digestibility. These are basically used in the pig and poultry industries. to reduce the cost, production cost. And these single cell proteins are the microorganisms like yeast, bacteria, and fungi. They are basically produced during the agro-industrial byproducts, during the production of the agro-industrial byproduct. These can be used as a alternative feed resources. Then the azolla. Azolla is important form which is used as a rich source of protein, and it is more than 20% protein along with some amino acid, minerals, and it is a source of some vitamins, minerals, and some antioxidant also, and it will significantly improve the daily weight gain and milk production by 15 to 20% in the studies. As we know that the most of the India is the second largest producer of the fruit and vegetables. These fruits and vegetables, these are wasted. These are basically wastage, and these are not used for the animal. So these food wastes have very high source of the fibers, antioxidant, minerals, and vitamins. These can be fed to the animal as alternative feed resources, like different type of fruits, like citrus waste, pineapple waste, apple, pomegranate, carrot, bottle gourd, tomato waste, sarso saag, different types of cauliflower leaves waste. These are used as a feeding to the animal. Different types of there are strategies to prevent these greenhouse gas emission. So before going to this slide, this enteric methane emission, we can go to the different types of greenhouse gas emission from the livestock sector. As we know that there are two different sources of the greenhouse gas emission. First is the direct source, and second one is the indirect source. These indirect sources contribute the enteric fermentation. These direct sources contribute the enteric fermentation, manure management. All these have the contribute to the greenhouse gas. Like enteric fermentations, we know that the methane is a major contributor. Manure management, we know that the CO2 and nitric oxide and N2O are produced. These are the important greenhouse gas emissions. Different indirect sources like land use practices, feed production, feed industries, during processing and transportation, some refrigerated products, deforestation, fossil fuel burning, these all contribute to the indirect sources. Basically, this will emit the CO2 as a main greenhouse gas emission. And second figure is it shows that this cattle and buffalo significantly, is more than 90% of the greenhouse gas emission are basically from the cattle and buffalo, and 7.7% from the sheep and poultry, and less than 1% for the pig. And third figure, it shows that basically the 44.1%, and chief greenhouse gas emission is the basically methane. Then 13.4% all livestock contributed is the N2O, and 13%, that is the 13.4% CO2. These all basically contribute to the. So we have to tackle these greenhouse gas emission. So what are the strategies? We can reduce this enteric methane fermentation. We have to focus on this enteric methane fermentation. We have to manage this anaerobic manure management practices. So in the next slide we have to discuss this. So in enteric methane fermentation, there are basically two important strategies. First is the dietary manipulation, second is the rumen manipulation. In the dietary manipulation, there is the feeding of some high quality forage, means some introduction of some legumes into diet, or some green fodder to the diet of animal, not basically exclusively on the roughage, as we see on the many other farmers that practices. Increase the concentration level. There should be roughage and concentrate level. This is 60% roughage and 40% concentrate level should be given to the animal. And third is the optimized feeding practices. Means there should be feeding of this roughage concentrate should not be given in separate manner. Like you give the concentrate, then you give the roughage but in the roughage and concentrate are minerals and all these vitamins should be given into single form. That is called TMR feeding. So this is very helpful. This TMR feeding is very helpful for the high producing animal. So it will produce the uniform rumen fermentation inside the animal. Increased dietary liquid, that is the unsaturated fatty acid, that is the rumen bypass fat given to the animal, that will hamper this methane production. Urea, molasses, mineral bulk, this will also reduce the methane production by 10% and increase the milk production also. This rumen manipulation, different type of inhibitors, like as we know that the nitrate is a service inhibitor for the alternate hydrogen sink in the rumen, and it competes with the methane synthesis in the rumen, ultimately reduce the this greenhouse gas emission. Then secondary metabolite like saponins and phenylparanoid tannins, these are effectively reduce the methane and ammonia production. Some yeast culture like lactobacillus, probiotics, prebiotics is be given to the animal as a rumen modifier. All this will reduce the methane to significant level. So in the reproductive management, we have to focus on the advanced reproductive technology like ETT. ETT is the collection of fertilized egg or embryo from donor female and transfer it to the recipient. So in this there are the few steps like selection of donor and recipient. In the first step, there is a selection of donor and recipient. The donor should be elite, that should be high genetic value. It should be and the recipient should be normal genitalia, means animal with normal genital organs, but the donor should be have high genetic value. And second practices is the super ovulation. Then AI should be given. Then surgical removal of the embryo and transfer it to the surrogate mothers. This will all produce, as we know that in the ETT 12 calves per year produced from one donor female, and it is versus single as in conventional system, and it will improve the rapid genetic improvement. So it is a boost for the reproductive technology for advancing the milk production in countries that ETT should be followed. And one important reproductive technology is the sex semen. This actually, this sex semen is, as we know that when we go for the AI, there is a 50% chance to produce the female and 50% chance to the male calf. But in using this sex semen, we produce the only female calf. And the technique that is used in this, that is the flow cytometry. Flow cytometry is the technique where we use this will separate the X and Y chromosomes. As we know that the X chromosomes that have around 4% more DNA than them, and it is used for the basis for the separation of the X and Y chromosomes. But there are some limitations for this section. It is having higher cost. It is a lower conception rate as compared to the normal AI, because a lot of the sperms are that is destroyed during this process, and they require the skilled handling, skilled staff for this time. It is advised that the sex sorted semen should be used for the heifer or cow up to third lactation for the better consumption. So, waste management, like waste management, as we know that the manure, one of the reason for the due to not handling of the manure, animal manure effectively, there is the production of the CO2 and the N2O to the it will ultimately produce the greenhouse gas emission. So if we sustainable utilize the farm waste, we can tackle this also. And these farm waste are basically two type, that is a solid and liquid form. This solid form used for the biogas, composting, or direct application to the field, are in the slurry form or liquid form, where we used in the like oxidation oxidation in the lagoon or ditches, are directly applied, directly goes to the tanker and spray into the over the field, it can be used. So one of the important waste management practices is that is the biogas production. This biogas is, as we know, that it is renewable and environmental friendly resources, where basically it is biogas is at least 60% methane, and that is the 40% CO2 is produced, and these biogas can be used as a fuel, as the electricity, as used as a compressed biogas, as a in the vehicle also. And one important thing is that whatever the in the product of this biogas is the during the biogas process is the digested, that is the slurry, that is a excellent soil conditioner and fertilizer also, that can be used into soil. Second important thing, some value added product, like as we know that the cow dung is used as a some herbal mosquito repellent. Different types of mosquito repellent are used nowadays in the market, that is a synthetic and chemical repellent. These are harmful to the human as well as animal also, and so we can use this cow dung to production of the herbal mosquito repellent. It is excellent, and research is going on, and most of the lot of the mosquito repellent that is produced from the cow dung has been come to commercial value. And cow urine, this cow urine has a used in the several disorder like diabetes, cancer, disease of the skin infection, teeth, and jaundice. Several diseases used cow dung, and different type of products like Panchagavya. Panchagavya is used in different 5 products of cow, like cow dung, urine, milk, ghee, curd, along with some banana, coconut, jaggery, along with different, and these are used as a herbal pesticides, a topical spray. So this is we can use this waste into value addition. This sustainable manure management by utilizing this integration of livestock waste. This integration means when 2 or more enterprises are used simultaneously, where the byproduct of one enterprises make the input of the others. Like in the this is the example of the cow and fish integration, where we used cow manure 5 to 10 ton for the low producing and the 25 ton for the high producing. We can use it wallowing tank, like wallowing where the buffalo wallow. And this waste of this wallowing pond, this can be used for this excellent integration for the fish pond. Like we can produce this 5 ton per hectare without any supplementation feeding. So in the we can use this livestock waste into sustainable manner with the integration of these other enterprises. So one more thing is that due to the change in the climate, one important challenge is the sustainable livestock production is the climate change. This climate change is the one significant important challenge. So for that we produce the animal set that should have the reduce the heat gain based on the principle that it reduce the heat gain and promote the heat loss. So these are the some important physical modifications of the animal set. What we used for the animal set can we do for the animal for the climate to produce to protect the animal for climate resilience production, like physical modification of the environment by provision of shade and enhancing some evaporative heat loss. And we can use this orientation of set should be in long east and west direction for the protection of sun, and shelter design should be open type, huge housing system, adequate space should be there, no overcrowding should be there. Height of set should be minimum 10 to 12 feet height. Ventilation should be there, should be natural cross ventilation should be there. In the making housing of the animal, the roof should be A type. Basically, it is A type. So when the sun comes into one sided, the shadow become on the another side. So it should be cool on the another side. When sun on the another side, it will cool on the another side again. The material used for the roof should be low thermal conductivity, and the pitch angle. The pitch angle means the roof. What it makes it with the horizontal, that is should not be more than 45 degree, as it will hamper the ventilation, and it will also so it will also some rain come into the inside the animal house. The color of the roof should be white outside. White outside means whatever the light comes shade of the animal, 75% light should be reflected, and it should be the color of how colored inside. Colored inside means whatever the 25% light comes inside the house, it should be absorbed. So this should be keep consideration when making the animal house. The shelter of the house should be surrounded with the tree. And the shady green coverage of the area, so the light reflection, the reflected light should be low on that condition. Second important practice is the enhancing evaporative heat loss by using use of some foggers, some misters, some sprinkler system that will wet the cow's hair, coat, and skin. Using some cool fans like coolers. Based on this fans and pad system, this can be used in the animal system. Wallowing is important microclimate, provide microclimate for the buffalo. So this can improve we can use the tackle the climate also. So one important practices is the sustainable livestock production through genetic modification. Two important practices are there. First, we select the animal with selective breeding, and second, use of some advanced technology like using some SNP, single nucleotide polymorphism, which identify some genetic markers like heat shock protein, ATP1A1, some and selection based on this single nucleotide polymorphism and introduction of these heat tolerant into the commercial. By using these practices, we can improve as well as milk production, as well as genetic improvement of the animal according to the present challenges. That is the practices is the sustainable farm water waste management. These as we know that there are different type of condition where we use the like efficient water harvesting techniques. These techniques like methods like rooftop harvesting systems, using capturing of some runoff waters by using check dams or ponds, some groundwater recharge system, trenches by using trenches, some wells, making we can efficiently manage this water. Weather forecasting and crop insurance system. But for emergency preparedness, provide financial protection to the farmer against the any eventual loss, and use of some ICT, information communication technology, to identify some heat waves, some rainfall, drought, storm, or hurricanes anywhere in India, and to provide preparedness on that. Some use of some drought tolerant feed crop like sorghum, millet, legumes, cowpea, pigeon pea. These are vital for the climate change because they need for the less water, and floodplain and drainage system, improving the drainage system facility, connecting the drainage channels with the urban and rural drainage system, and reconnecting water to floodplain area. This will significantly improve the water. This is a smart irrigation system, use of some AI sensors, some drone system to precise use of the water, drip irrigation system, all are used for that. And some water reservoir systems like using some store localized system that are designed to capture some store some ponds for water, for rainfall water. We can recharge these water systems. One important challenge is the antimicrobial resistance. As we know that these in the present scenario, most of the practitioners, they are in animal practice also, they use this significantly use these antibiotics in feed also, in treatment also, as in basically in the poultry, swine, and in dairy sector also it is used. So it is one of the biggest challenge to the current scenario, as it is estimated that the consumption of the global consumption of antibiotic, it is increased by 67% by 2030. So there are some mitigation strategies for antimicrobial resistance. These are the antibiotic stewards, farm management, wastewater, wildlife control. In the next slide, I will study this. Antimicrobial stewardship means selection of the precise use of this these antibiotics. What duration of the antibiotics should be considered in that. Farm management means size of the farm during feeding practices, not use at the most permissible limit of the antibiotics, farm hygienes, disinfections. These are significantly reduce this antimicrobial resistance. This wastewater treatment like disinfectant, biodegradation, sewage treatment plant, use of fencing system to our farm, like to control the wild animal, migratory birds. These will critical role in spreading the this infection. Use of some prebiotics, probiotics, use of deworming and some routine deworming vaccinations that are to the animal. These are important practices. There are some newer strategies like manipulating the rumen microflora. Is a new strategy to prevent this antimicrobial resistance. Some mathematical models are also used to study the loading dose of the antibiotics and the correct choice of the antibiotic, selection, duration of the antibiotics. Using these mathematical models are also used to them. So next, and so principle of disease management. There are different strategies to prevent this, like scientific disposal of caravans. There are two important management practices is there, like burning and burial. There are two important. Burning is the most sanitary method, and one important method also used, that is the incinerations. Okay, like routine deworming and vaccination, meeting hygiene practices, removing organic waste inside the farm daily, and then applying disinfectant. It will significantly reduce the occurrence of disease. This quarantine management, the animal which is come first time into the herd, coming first time into the, they are keep quarantine state for at least for 30 days. Uh, as we know that the most of the disease, the incubation period for the most of disease, the 30 days. So it is important practices. Then isolation of sick animal is an important practice. Periodical health examination for the animal for TB, JD, and typhoid and brucellosis. These are the important practices, and the capacity building for the staff training. Some zoonotic disease are important for the transfer of some zoonotic disease between animal to human as well as vice versa. So there should be some future direction toward a sustainable and resilient livestock production is that adoption of sustainable practices like sustainable feed production, sustainable waste management practices. I have told that sustainable breeding practices. Second one is the term technology, like some systems, some rules, some mathematical models, some genomic selections are there, artificial intelligence. These are all technical advancement, and some government policies and regulations should also be incorporated for the sustainable and resilient livestock farming, like some financial incentive to the farmers, some government regulations for the animal welfare, standard for animal welfare, environmental regulations should be formulated for better regulations. In this way, we can conclude that the sustainable livestock farming is essential for the resilience and the profitable farm in the present scenario. For the as in the face of the current climate change resource and the market uncertainty, and this by using some precision technologies, improving breeding facilities, feeding practices, waste recycling, and digital innovation, some it will enhance the production, and as it will also improve the ecological as well as economical stability. Um, as we know that these innovative sustainable approaches, it will create a triple win model system, like benefiting farmers, consumers, and environment also. So in this way, we can say that ultimately that the innovative led and sustainable livestock farming is a necessity for the ensuring long-term resilience and the food security and employment also. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Just
Hello.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, your session is over now. Now the session will start for question. So your participants are requested to ask the question if any query they have. I guess nobody is having any queries, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for a wonderful
Thank
session.
thank you. Thank you.